Magandang araw. This is Dr. Cortez, your business doctor. And tapos ngayong araw na to yung lesson din sa income taxation, but specifically corporate taxation yung ating pag-usapan today. Right, but before we start ng ating lesson, pwede ba mag-request sa inyo to click the subscribe button. Yan. Maraming salamat in advance, people, sa pag-subscribe. And I'm still looking for something dito na related sa ating topic today. Alright. Okay. Okay. So, ito yung ating mga topics to be covered for this one: corporate tax, special tax, non-resident citizen. We're going to discuss them. Sino ba tong mga tong non-resident citizen, domestic corporations, resident foreign corporation, non-resident foreign corporation, and tax within and without the country. Sa loob at sa labas ng country ng mga taxation. And after we are done with the topics, ito yung mga ating learning outcomes, those things that are capable of doing. Specifically, at the end of the lesson, the student should be able to, number one, identify the relevant provisions of the income tax, prepare a reconciliation of accounting income and income for tax purposes, apply the relevant sections of the Income Tax Act to compute taxable income and tax payable for a corporation, and prepare computerized corporate income tax return for a wide variety of situations, and lastly, describe the issues and apply the appropriate provisions related to taxation corporate investment income. So ito yung ating target for this lesson, hoping that all of this can be done after the lesson today. So, for the purpose of taxation, may dalawang klase, diba, ng taxpayers tayo. The first one that has been discussed previously, yung mga individuals. And ito yung mga corporate taxpayers. So, may mga individual na nagbabayad ng taxation, meron din man nagbabayad ng corporate tax. So, for the purpose of taxation, may tatlong klase ng corporations: the domestic corporations, the resident foreign corporations, the non-resident foreign corporations. So, let me see if I have a definition dito. Anyway, ang domestic corporations, for the purpose of taxation, domestic corporations are those corporations established under the Philippine law. Ayan. So kahit ikaw ay sa labas hindi ka Filipino but you establish a corporation using or under the Philippine law, you are considered domestic. Sa mga resident foreign corporations naman, ito yung mga foreign corporations that are doing business in the country. So, maraming corporations dito, mga for example, mga factory. Dati mayroon ditong FedEx, but I know they transferred already yung kanilang operation in China. Yan, McDonald's, foreign corporation yan, pero they are residing in the country. Yung mga factory in the suburbs of Metro Manila like Cavite, Laguna, Valenzuela, like mga electronics company, sa mga provinces with the factory. Those are resident foreign corporations. And letter C, ito yung mga foreign corporation naman, foreign sila, pero they are operating in the country, pero saglit lang, kaya they are non-resident foreign corporation. So ito yung mga tatlong klase ng corporations for the purpose of taxation. And meron mga special corporations. Letter A, mga proprietary educational institutions and hospitals that are non-profit. Mga insurance companies, general professional partnership, and estates and trust. Yung mga educational, sila non-taxable. Mga general professional naman, hindi ito yung mga ordinary partnership with letters natin. They are not ordinary partnership. Sila na created for the purpose of exercising a profession. Yung ordinary partnership kasi, ito yung example, 3 tao kayo, 5 tao, magtatayo kayo ng isang grocery store, then you will contribute. 50,000 kayo. So that is ordinary partnership. Kasi magtatayo kayo ng isang merchandising business. Pero yung mga general professional, ito yung mga professionals that bounded together for the purpose of their profession. Example, mga CPA, certified public accountants, mga 5 CPA nag-join, then they created a general professional partnership for the purpose of profession. Lawyers, doctors, basta professional. Madali naman siyang distinguish Basta mga professionals that establish a corporation for their profession. Ito yung letter C. Pero yung mga mag-create lang ng ordinary business like merchandising o resto, yung mga ordinary partnership. I have a note here, estates and trust are treated as individual taxpayers. Estates and trust, we're going to discuss them later on kung ano sila. Then, the term non-resident citizen means yung yung resident citizen ang tinatawag, ito yung mga Filipino citizen and are residing in the country. Pero yung mga non-resident Filipino citizen, but they are not residing in the country, wala sila dito. So let us define. The term non-resident citizen means, number 1, a citizen of the Philippines who established to the satisfaction of the commissioner the fact of his physical presence abroad. Wala siya dito, but residing abroad, presently abroad, with a definite intention to reside therein. So, non-resident citizen. So, pag ikaw ay Pilipino, tapos nagbakasyon ka lang sa Hong Kong, saglit lang. You don't have intention to live in Hong Kong. Filipino citizen ka pa rin. Resident citizen ka pa rin. Pero ikaw ay Filipino citizen, then you're going to work abroad for example 2 years. So, yan ang non-resident citizen. So, pag matagal ka mag-reside abroad for example, for job purposes, so non-resident citizen. So, number 2, definition ng non-resident citizen. A citizen of the Philippines who leaves the Philippines during a taxable year to reside abroad, either as an immigrant or for employment on a permanent basis. Yung mga immigrant will travel to other country or will be looking for a job on a permanent basis, non-resident citizen ang tawag natin sa kanila. Kasi kahit bumiyahe sila sa abroad, Filipino citizen pa rin sila, kaya nga non-resident citizen. Okay, so let's go to the next one. So the third definition of non-resident citizen. A citizen of the Philippines who works and derives his income abroad and whose employment thereat requires him to be physically present abroad most of the time during the taxable year. Still, non-resident citizen. Example, Filipino citizen siya. Nagtrabaho at ang kanyang mga sweldo ay coming from abroad. Then yung kanyang employment is requiring him that dun sa mag-stay for a long time. Most of the time. So, non-resident citizen. And number 4 definition ng non-resident citizen, a citizen who has been previously considered as a non-resident citizen and who arrives in the Philippines at any time during the taxable year to reside permanently in the Philippines. Example, Filipino citizen nagtatrabaho sa Japan. Then bumalik sa Pilipinas. Ito ang kanyang status ay non-resident citizen pa rin, hindi resident citizen. Example, January to June, nasa Japan siya, no? Nagtrabaho siya doon. So, kanyang status is non-resident citizen. Then, July to December, umuwi siya ng Pilipinas. Dito na sa mag-stay. Ang kanyang status ay still non-resident citizen at hindi resident citizen. Ayan. Pero isang non-resident citizen, umuwi ng Japan, bumalik sa Pilipinas galing Japan noong November. So, November to December, non-resident citizen na kanyang status. Then the next year, January to December of next year, ang kanyang status ay magiging resident citizen na. Yan. Nagbago na, no? Okay, and let's have this one. So, ito naman domestic corporation. I-define natin siya for the purpose of taxation. Sabay-sabay natin basahin. A domestic corporation is a corporation that does business within the country where it was established, headquartered, or based. Yan. So, pwede yan ay isang Singaporean corporation. Pupunta Pilipinas na may-ari, Singaporean. Then he created his business under the Philippine law. Then dito ang kanyang headquarter. Tapos dito siya naka-based. Although he is Singaporean. Pero I just want to point out, guys, no, hindi naman pwedeng magtrabaho. Magtayo ng isang corporation, isang Singaporean na walang kasamang Filipino. Dapat meron pa rin isang kasamang Filipino if he's going to establish a company here, no? But kahit Singaporean sila, domestic corporation pa rin yung kanilang status sa Pilipinas. So for example, if a company opens in the Philippines, then within the Philippines state, that particular company is considered a domestic company. Now, if a company opens and was incorporated in Singapore and then does business within the Philippines, then it is considered a foreign corporation. So maliwanag, no? Basta ang bottom line natin dito, kung saan siya tinayo at kung anong law ang ginamit, that is still domestic corporation. Itong example natin dito, incorporated. Pag sinabing incorporated, itinayo, established in Singapore. So domestic corporation yan, doon sa Singapore. Kahit yan ay sa Pilipinas nag-operate. Pero pag tinayo sa Singapore yan, foreign corporation pa rin ang kanyang status. Okay? Parang Singaporean company, tinayo sa Singapore, pero dito siya nag-ooperate sa Pilipinas. So, foreign corporation pa rin yan. Bakit? Kasi Singapore siya tinayo. Although dito siya nag-ooperate, pero it was incorporated or established using Singaporean law. So, Singapore domestic corporation yan, but sa Pilipinas, we consider that as foreign corporation. Now, let's move on. Okay, so generally, a corporation daw, as used in the purpose of taxation. For the purpose of taxation pag sa ano kasi normally, no? Sa business, pag sinabing corporation, ito yung may mga shares of stocks. Sa forms of business organization, example sa management, no? Ang corporation is iba sa partnership. But for the purpose of taxation, when we use the word corporation, kasama dyan, we are also referring to partnership. So pag sinabing sa taxation dito, walang babanggitin partnership dito. Ang babanggitin natin ay corporation. Pero kasama na dyan ang corporation and partnership. For the purpose of taxation, Dito lang sa taxation subject na to. So a corporation as used in taxation, it includes partnership. No matter how created or organized, joint stock, kasama rin dito, ang mga joint stock companies, joint accounts, and associations or insurance companies. So itong lahat na yan, pag binanggit natin yung word na corporation, it refers to partnership, joint stock companies, joint accounts, and associations, and insurance companies. So marami ang covered ng ng word na corporation for the purpose of taxation. Pero hindi kasama dito yung general professional partnership. Binanggit ko na kanina no? Ibang professional partnership sa ordinary partnership. So when we refer to the word corporation, hindi kasama yung general professional partnership. Hindi rin kasama ang joint venture or consortium formed for the purpose of undertaking construction projects or engaging in petroleum, coal, geothermal, and other energy operations pursuant to an operating or consortium agreement under a service contract with the government. So itong dalawa lang ang hindi kasama sa word na corporation, general professional partnership, and joint venture. But the rest, mas marami pa rin covered ng word na corporation. Okay, so let's move on. Resident foreign corporation naman ang ating i-define. Kanina, define na natin yung domestic corporation. Sabi ko kanina, basic, no? This one is a foreign corporation established in other country pero dito nag-ooperate sa Pilipinas. So the term applies to a foreign corporation engaged in trade or business within the Philippines. So McDonald's is a foreign corporation pero dito nag-ooperate sila sa Pilipinas. They are not domestic. They are resident foreign corporation. So mga fan ng McDonald's dyan, mga for working at McDo. Okay, so next one, non-resident foreign corporation. So ito rin ay foreign corporation din ito, pero hindi sila nag-operate sa Pilipinas. So the term applies to a foreign corporation not engaged in trade or business in the Philippines. May example ba ditong ayan hindi naman to sa Pilipinas parang this picture is another country. Siguro may nakita kang foreign corporation sa Pilipinas pero saglit lang sila dito. They don't have the intention to permanently operate in the Philippines. So we cannot consider them as resident. Pag saglit naman dito, hindi sila resident foreign corporation. They are non-resident foreign corporation. Ito na yung general professional partnership. Yung kanyang definition, So sabay-sabay nating basahin. So general professional partnerships are partnerships formed by persons 2, 3, 4, 5 persons for the sole purpose of exercising their common profession, like yun nga, certified public accountants, engineers, doctors, dentists, lawyers. And so no part of the income which is derived from engaging in any trade or business. So ibig sabihin, pag sila ay nagtayo ng partnership, tapos yung kanilang income ay talagang galing lang sa kanilang profession, diyan tinatawag natin general professional partnership. Hindi sila nagbe-business ng merchandising, hindi sila nagbe-business ng manufacturing, kundi yung kanilang profession lang, yung kanilang pinagkakitaan. So, general professional partnerships. Tawag natin dyan. The persons engaging in business as partners in a general professional partnership shall be liable for income tax only in their separate and individual capacities. So, sample natin, may 5 lawyers nagtayo ng general professional partnership. Okay? Then, yung kanilang law office ay kumita ng 1 million for 2024, no? Itong 1 million, paghatian nilang 5 partners, di ba? So, divided equally, yung 1 million, so they will get 200,000 each sa share sa profit ng kanilang law office. Ang itatax natin ay yung magkano share nila doon sa law office. Sa 200,000 tayo magtatax. And not in the whole 1 million. Kasi, sabi dito, they are liable to pay their taxes only on their separate individual capacities. Yung pinaghatian na, no? Yung kanilang taxable. Yung 200,000 na, doon ang tax natin. Doon tayo mag-base ng magkano babayaran nila. And not on the 1 million. The total profit ng kanilang partnership. Okay, so let's move in. So, in contrast, ito naman yung ordinary business partnerships. So, dalawang klase ng partnership. Yung naunang discuss natin is the general professional partnership. Ito naman yung ordinary. Ito yung madalas ginagawa natin na example, 5 kayong magkakaibigan, then nagkasundo magtatayo ng grocery store, then you contributed 50,000 each. So that is ordinary business partnership, not professional. So an ordinary business partnership is considered as a corporation and is thus subject to tax as such. So, sa general professional partnership kanina, ang taxation ay doon sa kanilang share bawat isa. Pero sa ordinary business partnership, this one is considered as a corporation. So, ang tax dito ay doon sa buo. Example, 5 partners, yung walang partnership ay kumita ng 1 million. Sa ordinary business partnership, ang taxation ay doon sa 1 million. Yung buo. Yan, itatax natin ng 25%. Sa isang taxation rate sa Philippines, corporation and partnership ay 25% sa kanilang net profit. O, ayan na. So, dapat alamin natin kung anong klaseng partnership yan. Is it professional partnership or ordinary business partnership? So, partners are considered as stockholders and therefore, profits distributed to them by the partnerships are considered as dividends. So, di ba, for the purpose of taxation, ang partnership is a corporation as well. Sa corporation kasi, profits are divided into dividend. Pag ikaw isang partners, you are considered as partnership. So, yung tinanggap mong share for the purpose of taxation, we call that dividends. Yung kita, no? Yung kita mo dyan. Okay, so dito man tayo sa General Principles of Income Taxation in the Philippines. General Principles of Income Taxation in the Philippines. So, number 1, a citizen of the Philippines residing therein is taxable on all income derived from sources within and without. Ito yung marami, no? Ito yung common sa atin eh. Example tayo, no? We are citizen of the country. Na nandito lang tayo sa Pilipinas, hindi tayo nagtatrabaho abroad. So, ang ating income ay taxable. Yung income mo sa Pilipinas, pag ikaw ay a citizen of the country, yung kita mo sa Pilipinas, tapos kita mo abroad, is still taxable. Sa loob at labas ng Pilipinas, taxable ka. Pag ikaw ay citizen ng Pilipinas. For example, sa Pilipinas sa trabaho, mayroon kang kliyente dito. You are example, you are a computer programmer, no? May customer, may kliyente ka sa Pilipinas. Meron ka rin kliyente abroad kasi you can do programming online eh. So, may client ka sa Hong Kong, sa Japan, Japanese and Chinese, no? Kumikita ka sa kanila. So, taxable ka dito sa Pilipinas nung kita mo sa Pilipinas, and taxable ka rin dun sa kinikita mo sa mga foreign client or customers mo. Pag ikaw ay Filipino citizen, that is number 1. And number 2, a non-resident citizen is taxable only on income derived from sources within the Philippines. So, Filipino citizen, pero hindi siya dito nagtatrabaho, no? He is abroad. So, ang kanyang income is taxable lang siya sa sources sa loob ng Pilipinas. Okay? Example niya yung mga yung mga OFW, no? Di ba mga OFW, mga seaman, they are Filipino citizen pa rin, pero they are not residing in the country. Sa abroad sila nagtatrabaho. Okay? So, taxable sila only sa income derived from sources within or sa loob ng Pilipinas. Okay? So, yung income nila sa labas, tapos working sa Japan, siyempre, itatax sila ng Japanese government. Hindi na sila itatax dito. Kasi doble-doble na yan eh. Pero pa ikaw ay OFW, working in Japan or seaman, tapos meron ka ditong grocery store or paupahan, pinapamanis mo sa wife mo or sa kamag-anak under your name, no? Yun lang itatax. Hindi yung sweldo mo sa Japan or in another country. Number 3, an individual citizen of the Philippines who is working and deriving income from abroad as an overseas contract worker is taxable only on income from sources within the Philippines. Ang sinasabi ko kanina. Example, yung seaman who is a citizen of the Philippines and who receives compensation for service rendered abroad shall be treated as an overseas contract worker. Yan. Yung seaman, no? Working abroad, so he is considered as an overseas contract worker. Okay, so next one. So, continuation to, the general principles of income taxation in the Philippines. Well, let's go to number 4. An alien. An alien individual, whether a resident or not of the Philippines, is taxable only on income derived from sources within the Philippines. Yung mga alien foreigner, no? So, resident ka ng Pilipinas, a resident or not of the Philippines, pero ikaw ay may income derived from the country. So, taxable ka dyan. Example, foreigner, no? Nagtayo ng kantin sa Pilipinas. May kasosyo sa dito, sa Pilipinas. So, that is income from within the Philippines. So, that is taxable. Okay? So whether the foreigner is residing here or not. Kasi may yung foreigner na nagtayo na negosyo sa Pilipinas, then dito nagstay. Taxable siya dun sa kita sa Pilipinas. Yung foreigner naman na nagtayo ng base sa Pilipinas, pero hindi naman dito nakatira. Still taxable siya dun sa income derived from sources here. Kahit siya nakatira dito or hindi. Number 5, a domestic corporation is taxable on all income derived from sources within and without the Philippines. So mga companies that are established under the Philippine law, kumikita sa Pilipinas, then nag-export din, kumikita abroad. So both income, local and abroad, are taxable. Pag domestic corporation. Okay? Now, number 6. Pag yan naman ay foreign corporation, whether engaged or not in trade or business in the Philippines, pag foreign corporation na, taxable lang siya sa income derived from sources within the Philippines. Ayan, example, McDonald's, may branch sa Pilipinas. Yung kita sa Pilipinas ng McDo, taxable sa Pilipinas. Yung kita niya from other country, hindi nakasama. Okay? So whether the business is engaged in trade or not, or not in trade or business in the Philippines, taxable pa rin yan. Pag foreign corporation na. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. Ito naman, who are taxable on their global income. So to summarize, itong mga taong to, itong mga individual or corporation na to, sila ay taxable sa kanilang global income. Pag sinabing global income, kita sa Pilipinas at kita abroad, both are taxable. So pag ikaw ay resident citizen, Filipino citizen, pero sa Pilipinas, may kita ka dito at may kita ka sa abroad, parehong taxable. Okay? Yung pangalawa, domestic corporation. The corporation established under the Philippine law. Kumikita sa Pilipinas, kumikita pa sa export abroad, so parehong income are both taxable. Sabihin, pag domestic or resident citizen ka, may kita ka sa Pilipinas sa 10,000, may kita ka sa abroad na 100,000. Combine mo yun. That is 110,000. Yung buong 110,000 is taxable. Okay, and okay, ito naman, who are taxed only on income from sources within the Philippines. Yung unang slide natin, sa labas at loob ng Pilipinas, tinatax natin. Ito naman, ito yung mga taxpayer na tinatax doon lang sa kita nila sa loob lang ng Pilipinas, hindi kasama yung sa labas o hindi kasama yung sa abroad. Sino-sino sila? Ito, non-resident citizen. Itong citizen na nagtatrabaho abroad. Okay? O seaman. Or OFW. Nagtatrabaho sa Saudi Arabia. Yung kita sa Saudi Arabia, taxable dun sa Saudi Arabia. Pero pag meron siyang business dito sa Pilipinas, yung business dito sa Pilipinas, yun lang ang taxable. Within the Philippines lang. May pangalawa, overseas contract workers, no? So, mga seaman, example. Yung sweldo nila abroad, taxable doon. Pero, pag meron silang negosyo dito, yun ang taxable dito lang sa Pilipinas. Ay, yung alien individual, foreigner, nagnegosyo sa Pilipinas, kahit dito siya nakatira or hindi siya nakatira dito, pero sa ditong example, resort sa Boracay, taxable dito yan. Alien or foreigner na. Isa pa paano pag hindi naman siya dito nakatira, taxable pa rin dito yan. The number 4, foreign corporation, whether engaged or not in trade or business in the Philippines. So, example ko kanina McDonald's, no? That is foreign corporation, then kumikita sa Pilipinas, taxable dito. Pero yung kita niya sa Hong Kong, Saudi Arabia, or other country, hindi nakasama. Yung nandito lang. Sources within the Philippines lang. Or tax only on their net income. Pag sinabing net income, ito yung neto nila, no? Yung pinaka natitira after deducting deductions like PhilHealth, contributions, SSS, no? Pag sa corporation naman, pag sinabing net income, yung benta mo after deducting the cost and expenses, yung matitira, yun ang tinatax natin. Itong apat na to, they are taxed on their net income. Yung neto, no? Yung natitira, yung butal. Hindi yung buong sweldo, ha. For example, resident and non-resident citizen are taxed only based on their net income. Example, ang kanyang sweldo ng number 1 ay 50,000 pesos. Pero may bawas pa yun eh. Example, pag-ibig, SSS, taxes, no? So pag binawas mo yung mga yon, ang tinatawag nating net income. So doon ka itatax yung natitira. Ganun din yung mga resident alien and non-resident alien engaged in trade. Sa net income or sa neto or sa natitira din sila tinatax. Ganun din yung domestic corporation and resident foreign corporation. Example, yung 3 and 4. Ang kanilang revenue or yung kanilang benta sa isang taon ay 1 million pesos. Pero siyempre, meron pang mga deduction yan. Yung puhunan, yung gastusin, expenses, ibabawas mo pa yan. So 1 million example ang benta, ang total expenses ay 600,000. Right? So ang natira ay 400,000 pesos. So ang itatax natin ay yung 400,000 pesos. Because that is the net income ng domestic and resident foreign corporation. Okay, so let me see if meron pa akong slide dito. So, meron pa pala. I know this one is the last slide. Ito naman, they are based on their gross income. Pag sinabing gross, ito yung wala pang bawas. Yung buo ang ating itatax dito. So number 1, non-resident alien not engaged in trade or business in the Philippines. Yan. So isang foreigner, no? Ang kanyang sweldo, 50,000 per month. Ang itatax natin ay yung buong 50,000 pesos. So the same thing with the non-resident foreign corporation. Example, sa isang taon, yung non-resident foreign corporation kumita ng 1 million nga. So for number 2, ang itatax natin ay yung gross income, which is the 1 million. Okay? Kasi kanina, sa naunang slide natin, ang tinatax natin ay yung net income. Pero dito, yung gross income. Sabihin, itatax natin yung wala pang bawas. Mas malaki yung kanilang itatax dyan. Okay, so I know this one is the last slide for today. Let me see, no? So, ayan. Yung aking thank you slide. Salamat sa mga nakikinig sa akin. And don't forget to click the subscribe button and pa-share na rin guys itong aking channel para maraming makakapanood. Dagdag kaalaman nila. And with that people, for the meantime, this has been Dr. Cortez signing off. And thank you for watching. Bye everyone.